In this video, you will learn to solve 2 by 1 multiplication problems using the distributive property. You will use partial products to help you represent and solve the problem. So in this example, we're going to learn how to use the distributive property, and we are going to use partial products just like we did in the pictorial model. We're going to use the same problem, 41 times 3, but I just want to point out that you may see this problem written like this vertically, or you might see it written like this horizontally. Either way, it's the same, it's asking you the same thing. Okay. So in this strategy or representation, we draw a handy dandy little box. And then in that box, on top of the box, we're going to look at our big number, which in this case is 41. And we're going to use parts of it. So that's why we say partial products, because we're going to break the number into parts. Remember we said 40 plus 1. We separate our tens and our ones. And we're going to use those into parts. And let's put them up here. 40 plus 1. And then wherever you see the plus sign, I like to draw a line down the middle. Okay, now on the left side of the box, we're going to put our 3. Now, we're going to take this 3 and we're going to distribute it. That's why it's called the distributive property, to each one of these numbers. You can think of it like the 40 is going to drop down into this box with the 3. And then the 1 is going to drop down into this box with the 3. Okay? So inside the box, we're going to go ahead and draw our base 10 blocks. So in the first box, the 3 tells us how many groups of 40 do we need to draw? Well, 3. So let's go ahead and draw them. 10, 20, 30, 40. That's one group. 10, 20, 30, 40. The second group. 10, 20, 30, 40. That's the third group. So I now have 3 groups of 40. Okay. Now in the second box, I'm going to distribute my 3 with my 1. So 3 groups of 1 is just going to look like this. And we got our 3 groups of 1 there. So now whenever you're done with that, we need to now count up our 10. So let's go to our first box and count everything up. Let's see. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. So I'm going to go ahead and write 120 right underneath that box. Now I remember how many I counted. Then I'm going to go to my next box and count up those. 1, 2, 3. Easy peasy. So I bring my plus sign straight down, and then I'm going to put 3. So I counted up 3 ones. Now I'm going to add this together. Now you can probably use mental math to know that 123 plus 3 is 123. But if you ever need to add it up, that's perfectly fine. And that's why we use the vertical alignment like this. And you're going to take your 120 and then you're going to add 3 to it. Make sure that you put your 3 in the ones place, because remember, it's from the ones. So you bring your 3 down, 2 plus 0, 2, 1 plus 0, 1. We get the same answer. Okay? So this is just a nifty way for you to break down big numbers and be able to count it up and find your answer. You will have to know how to skip count or you will end up having to do a lot of individual counting to count up to the high numbers. So we use the distributive property. We broke down our number into 40 and 1. We got our tens place and our ones place. And then we took the second number and we put it over here on the side. And that number is going to tell us how many groups of each of these numbers we're going to use. So for 40, we did 3 groups of 40. And for 1, we also did 3 groups of 40. And then we brought everything straight down. We brought our total for our tens down. We brought our plus sign down. And then we brought our ones down. And we added it all up to get 123. Now it's your turn to try it. Try the next couple examples by yourself. You can always come back and watch this video.